I mean, I think this is what's very distinctive about these protests that are rocking the Arab world currently, is that they don't have an explicit Islamist trajectory or direction. They tend to be secular in focus and related to, the real sort of, economic concerns of the people. We have a situation in the Arab world where there's a demographic explosion, enormous numbers of young people without prospects, whose upward mobility is blocked, who have no real hope for the future, who have no say, in the politics of their countries. And it's these young people who are taking to the streets. And in some instances, they're joined by Islamists, but Islamists are only, sort of a relatively small voice in this great crowd that's enveloping the Arab world.
That's not what's driving what we're seeing.
No, we're not talking about Islamic revolution here. We're talking about something new, something quite different. And that's what's kind of exciting about all of this, is that we haven't seen this before, this groundswell of opposition. Ordinary citizens, telling their leaders that they've had enough, that they want change. And again, the Islamist groups like the Muslim Brotherhood are part of this, but they're not leading it. In fact, that's what's been notable about the demonstrations in Egypt, is that the Muslim Brotherhood did not take the initiative. They laid low, kept a low profile in the early stages of the demonstrations. I think there's a strategic purpose in that. They understood that if they did raise their head, that would provide the Mubarak regime with a pretext, an excuse to clamp down on the demonstrations as a whole. But I do believe they see this as an opportunity to assert themselves politically. And the Muslim Brotherhood is a large organization. I mean, it's got moderates and radicals within it, different factions. And I think what we have currently is a coming together of all those constituents within the Muslim Brotherhood. They're trying to sort of establish a common purpose in light of the circumstances. So they're going to try and assert themselves, but again, I think they'll meet with only limited success, and I think they understand that. I think for the time being, they simply want to be part of the new dispensation and work from there.
What else? Anything else about what we're watching or is taking place that maybe you think people don't understand or is being missed?
Well, I mean, I think this is not about, I mean, it's often said, and I think there's a lot of truth to this, that the Egyptian people have been held hostage, by the security concerns of Washington and Israel and Western countries. This is about the Egyptian people. I mean, they are taking their destiny into their own hands. This is about their integrity as a people. And it's exciting to watch. It's not ideologically driven. It's driven by, very basic concerns with human rights and social justice. And it's a revolution in the history of the modern Middle East.
Iran is looking at this and claiming victory because of Muslim Brotherhood, but they're not looking at anything else.
Well, exactly. The mullahs in Iran want to trace what's going on in Egypt back to them. They want to take credit. They're pegging this as an Islamic revolution, which it is not, and that's an important point. All sectors of Egyptian society are present in Maidan Tahrir, in the center of Cairo. Muslims, Copts, people of all political persuasions. The Muslim Brothers are there. But another point is that, whatever type of interim or transitional government is formed after the departure of Mubarak, which is almost certain, the Muslim Brothers are not going to have a prominent place at the table. They have to have some type of role in whatever political configuration, is put together in the next weeks or months, because they're the largest organized political force in the country. You have to understand that Mubarak's Egypt did not allow the creation of a vibrant civil society. There's something of a vacuum in Egyptian politics, consequently. So the Muslim Brotherhood is well positioned to be a player at the table, but still it doesn't have sufficient size or influence to dominate whatever government is formed subsequently.